Hey, what is up, guys? Quinn here. Hope you guys are having a good day. And as always, remember high hopes, low expectations. Today, I have a very large league to get through. And as always, I really do. First of all, let me tell you, this is going to be a long video. This is a very large leak, and I try to give you my unbiased like news, and then I get to my opinion. But I have to give you a disclaimer on this one. I doubt the legitimacy of this. I have to tell you that before going into this, and I'll explain why afterwards. But for now, let's just dive into it and get this video over with. It's going to take like 15 hours for me to export. I can already tell it's going to be a long video. But anyways, first of all, I like to thank people for coming out to the stream. YouTube says that at the end of it had collected of like 200 something views. I did not expect to stream more than 30 minutes, but I had at one point I had 20 people watching at once. I got a lot of people watching, so I streamed for almost 5 hours. Thank you for that. And oh yeah, there's some other news. Well, this is kind of embarrassing. I kind of forgot what it was. Whatever. Oh yes. I have heard multiple people from multiple sources. Now, I cannot verify this, obviously, and I don't really know if I believe it, but just so you guys know, I have heard from multiple different sources, unverified, mind you, that WB Games Montreal will tease the game soon, so take that as you will. Whatever. I don't know when soon is, maybe next week or next month, but supposedly we're going to tease soon. Take that as you will. But right now, I just have to read out this entire leak. This is so massive. So it starts out saying this guy on Reddit who claims to have a friend working at W Games Montreal, and he claims that they told him about the Gotham Knight's name before it was leaked. But of course, didn't believe the guy until afterwards. So now we have this massive leak, and even if it is fake, my God, the dude can write. So let's just get right into it. The main plot, I'm quoting him, this is all a very long quote, paragraphs and paragraphs. The story will mainly feature the Court of Owls as the main threat. From my knowledge, the Talons will be treated as a new enemy type that will try and chase you try to chase after you along the Gotham City skylines with new and unique abilities, such as scaling buildings to catch the player and performing some parkour over certain obstacles that may get in the way. The source had also described them as being somewhat a mixture between the sword-wielding opponents from City/Night and the martial artists from Origins. That sounds fun. I like it. And I'm sorry if I make a lot of slip-ups. Excuse me, but I'm reading on site here, and I've only read a little bit, and then I had to make a video straight up. So William Cobb is said to be the major antagonist. I was even told he would have some sort of Deathstroke-like boss battle nearing the end of the campaign. The Bat family will also be featured heavily in the game's story, the leading members being Batman/Bruce Wayne, Robin, Dick Grayson, and Batgirl Barbara Gordon, as the game takes place during the Batman Year 3, Dick and Barbara are both rather young, so they're just about 15 years old during the game's events. My source said their young age will in some way affect their play styles in some way, but that was hardly explained much other than Dick will have Tim's staff as to accommodate for his young age, but I will share more info on each of the Bat family's abilities/gadgets later on. Again, I'm reading on site here. I haven't even read the whole thing yet, so excuse me if I mess up. The side missions, the most wanted, renamed to cases, are set to make their return in this game. My source stated that some of the villains featured in their own cases are Killer Moth, White Rabbit, which my source told me would be heavily recycled from the previous canceled Damian Wayne game, Bronze Tiger, Magpie, Great White Shark, and Baby Doll. Though my source did say that there was a few he couldn't remember at the time, my friend also refused to mention anything in regards to how these characters would differ from the original comic interpretations, but I can only assume how they can still intend on using White Rabbit, that they are likely going to feature a few liberties in comparison to the original counterparts. Notice how I didn't... Wait, what? Notice how I didn't insert in someone? Oh, Joker. The open world, my source claims that the map intends to be larger than Arkham Knight and Origins combined. Oh, wow, I haven't read this yet, that's massive. And we will have some recycled assets in a few spots, but for the most part, this game's map will be nothing like we've seen in any previous Batman game. To add on to that, my source says that the game will feature the entirety of Gotham City to explore at the player's leisure. Also, the Batcave/Wayne Manor will be fully explorable and will act as some sort of safe zone. Their words, not mine, in which you will be able to change your current Batsuit. I have no clue if this accounts for Robin or Batgirl, as I didn't ask my source if other members of the Bat family could explore Gotham. Parentheses, probably because I didn't think of it. He just didn't think about asking it, because he didn't think it'd be that important, essentially. This sounds, I guess, likely Origins didn't have a Batcave and everything, so this Doesn't sound too out there, but again, that's a big map to go with. But I guess it's possible since the fact they've been working on this for 7 years through cancels and reboots, and they could have salvaged the map. So, next paragraph, traversal. Due to the size of the open world, there will be entered a few extra ways of transportation, like the Bat Cycle, which my source stated would have several skins based off various interpretations. My source didn't give an example, sadly. Another vehicle that will be featured is the Batwing, but judging by the way my sources talked about it, it seems as if the Batwing was going to be cut. But in some case, it isn't. I will share what they described anyways. That's weird. Why would they cut a vehicle? Well, I mean, it could happen, I guess, but that's weird. If they made a vehicle, I don't know why they would cut it and spend so much time on it. He said the Batwing will have a strong emphasis on dogfighting. That I don't know, but my source said that the higher-ups were unsure on this should stay by judging the negative reaction of the tank combat in Arkham Knight, so that, I guess that makes sense. So the Batwing is in fact cut, and then is likely the case. Now, in regards to other forms of traversing around the city, the grapple boost dive bomb would have carried over from the previous Batman games, but I believe my source mentioned that even more traversal options would end up being available as story progress. What those would be, we never specified. Okay. So we're going to get more traversal options. It seems that this is not an Arkham game. Again, if you buy into this, I exactly don't, but I would be criminal if I didn't share this, and I would be not living up to my title as unbiased news. I have to report on this, even though I don't exactly believe in it. New combat changes as satisfying combat from the previous Batman Arkham games return, but with a few new enemy types. I've already mentioned the Talons being a new unique enemy type, and how the behavior is nothing that we'd ever seen before, but the source had mentioned a few other enemy types and changes to the gameplay itself that I ought to mention. Thugs can apparently dual-wield 2 weapons at once. If this occurs, then when you encounter them, they will swing at you again almost immediately, apparently this being added to force the player to be more aware of what's occurring on screen. Nice. Again, I've asked for new combat innovations. Apparently another enemy type being added to the game are thugs with some sort of wrist-attached flamethrowers. They would be countered against some type of freeze grenade gadget equivalent, though that's just a guess on what the gadget could be used to take down some enemy type. My source told me about these 3 changes of combat. The rest I expect to be just about the same. That's a little disappointing if this is true, because I would like some major innovations, as I've said on the live stream. Thank you for coming. If you did, by the way, I'd like to thank everyone. Continuing, the next paragraph, gadgets. My source has told me a few of the gadgets that will be featured in the Batman title. They told me the 4 returning gadgets from the past games and 1 brand new gadget from each character. As for the gadget names, they did describe the new additions in a good amount of detail, painting a good picture of their uses and such. I will be doing the same. That being said, I will be listing these gadgets off in their own categories. We're going, okay, so Infamous Dark Knight. Okay, so he goes into detail on every character. So this is Batman's character. This is what his loadout is. Batman gadgets. The returning gadgets featured in Batman Gotham Knights. So I guess the title is Batman Gotham Knights. Okay, not just Gotham Knights. According to this guy, will be the Batarang, Explosive Gel. Okay, Batarang, Explosive Gel, Bat Claw, and the Smoke Pellet. Those are the returning gadgets. Batarang, Explosive Gel, Black Claw, Smoke Pellet. Good news, those are all good gadgets. As for the brand new gadget that will be making its premiere in the game, is a holographic diversion device. This can be tossed the same way as smoke pellets are thrown, but when dropped, they create a hologram of the Batman. So when seen by thugs during Predator missions, they will fire the hologram when the hologram is shot. At the panel approaching the figure will unleash a large wall of smoke, thereby drawing a good portion of the thug's attention towards who they believe they had seen you instead of where you may have actually been. Okay. Robin gadgets. Well, now this is Robin's loadout. The returning gadgets of our favorite boy wonder are the Zip Kick, Battering, Wrist Darts, although originated from Nightwing on Arkham City, is a returning gadget, and of course, Explosive Gel. It can be assumed that Robin will have smoke pellets too, but they never mentioned it. That being said, new gadget for Robin, according to my source, is an electrified version of the staff, which she would be able to activate as if her Batman's electric gloves, as in during combat when playing as Robin, if you get a certain combo going and it fills up a little meter, it would activate his electric staff. I do believe this is foreshadowing that Dick Grayson is Robin in the game and the future titles. It's possible that we may see him become his own hero. Nightwing, okay, so if this is true, it's obviously borrowing a lot of elements from Arkham. Oh my god, we're almost done, finally. Batgirl gadgets. So this is Batgirl. So Barber's returning gadgets will include Batarang, Line Launcher. My sources explained to me that for some reason Batgirl will be the only character of the trio to have a line launcher. They're yet to explain why. That's weird. So she's going to have the line launcher, Explosive Gel, and the remote hacking device. She's again apparently going to be the only character to have this as well. Weird. Her new gadget would be kind of a lazy one if you ask me. It's somewhat of a reskin of the remote claw from Origins, but it would be mounted to her wrist. This This is my source's words, not mine. Okay, sign off. This is all the information I have at the moment. I'll try to get back in contact with you, my friend, or in contact with my friend a bit and try to talk a bit more, blah, blah, blah. Most people assume this to be a hoax or something attempting to get more attention, but I am nothing more than a loving DC Comics fan who enjoys these wonderful characters. Please take care. Alright, that is the entire post. 10 minutes long. This is going to take forever to export, my god. Well, maybe this video won't be uploaded today. I might upload my Spider-Man video instead. But this is some really big news. My thoughts on it. This is why I think it's fake. Dude, it's way too detailed. And he responded to this somewhere in the comments. And again, I tried to get in contact with him. Not working too well. But he's getting downvoted into oblivion. A lot of people don't believe him. And he said something along the lines of, why shouldn't I give all the information I have? Which is a good point. So I'd say a 55% chance he is lying. Or maybe 65 chance he's lying, 34% chance his friend's lying, and 1% chance this is true. Just because it is so detailed. Leaks usually don't give away this many details. Like, this looks like a fan fiction that a fan wrote it. Besides that, obviously, it's banking on the name Gotham Knights. If this guy really wanted us to believe it, he could have posted this a week ago when he first got the information. Instead, his explanation is he didn't believe his source until this Gotham Knights name was verified. And I guess we'll know when a trailer drops or something. I just don't. It's so unlikely that this is real. I know those are only 2 points, but it's honestly. Also, there are a couple of places where I could tell he meant to put a period, but he didn't. Places where a semicolon was needed or a comma was needed, so grammar's not the best. So I definitely think this might be a kid, and I really get annoyed with people like this who just post fake leaks. Either this or his friend's lying. I highly doubt this is real. But if it is, here are my thoughts on it, because I know there's going to be some people that still think it's real, so here are my thoughts on it if you want to know. I'm a little disappointed it won't have a Nightwing. It sounds like we're going to get some cool stuff, and as I said in the stream a lot today, it sounds like they're trying to have a little variation between the Bat Family characters, which I think is good, because if you watch my stream, one of my major complaints with how the Bat Family was handled, not including story, is that the Bat Family all felt like weaker versions of Batman. They didn't feel like they had their own unique gadgets, and their own gadgets that they did have felt really underpowered or stupid. And I felt like Batman was too overpowered, and you should have never played the Bat Family unless you actually went out of your way to want to. So there you go. It looks like they're trying to add some variation. It looks like we're going to have vehicles, but not a heavy amount. Overall, it looks pretty good. And also, I said in my stream today that I would love lesser-known villains like Killer Moth. And I still think Killer Moth could be an amazing villain if he was made right. And I might explain that in a future video, actually. But yeah, this looks good. Amazing. Talons are going to fight you in the game, which, of course, if you haven't read the Court of Owls comics, I'll try to explain to you. Talons are like super soldiers, essentially. Super soldiers for the Court of Owls. Like these zombie people, they're amazing. So that's very exciting. If this is true, I'm excited. I'm a little disappointed Nightwing's not in there, and I hope we're going to get more DLC characters, and the map sounds amazing. And again, I'm sure whatever W Games Montreal makes is amazing, but again, I doubt this legitimacy, but I had to let you guys know, or else I would be lying if I said that I was, an unbiased news source. I had to let you guys know regardless of what I felt about it. So there you go. Obviously, if you made it this far in the video, then you really do enjoy my content. So like and subscribe as always if you want to see help my channel grow. I'm almost at 300 subscribers a month into YouTube. This is absolutely amazing for me. And again, thank you guys for coming to the stream. I still can't get over the fact that people watched me for 5 hours. That is insane. But anyways, it's like 5 in the morning and I gotta go to bed. Anyways, yeah, that's it. If you dislike the video, then please leave a comment with criticism. Tell me why. I would love to improve. Stay awesome, y'all, and peace.